A note on rear window. A classic Hitchcock, Alfred Hitchcock, a famous author, filmmaker, included on some of the best, on the list of the best films, some of the most important compilations of the kind. Hitchcock, a very interesting man, bright, if they say sometimes difficult to work with. Actors, he seemed not to appreciate them very much. Um, all sorts of anecdotes, humor with him. I remember this one at the customs. What's your trade? I trade in goose flesh. Famous for his um, thrillers, dramas, and I've read about him and so many others in Adventures in the Screen Trade by William Goldman, who won 2 Academy Awards. And he was dealing with the notion of author films, the idea that a director, such as Alfred Hitchcock, can be the ultimate key man. He's the one who made the film, regardless of actors, producers, writers, and all the rest. And to put it in a nutshell, Goldman opposes this idea, and he takes the case of Hitchcock, who was at that time the epitome of the author of films. And he said that when they started glorifying him, he actually was affected by this in a negative way. The films he made after this peak of worshipping, he made films that were less important, less valuable. The argument goes there. This one is wonderful. It has James Stewart, one of the most outstanding actors ever. He's Jeff Jeffries, and there's Grace Kelly, the future princess, late now, Monaco, Grace of Monaco. She's Lisa Carol Fremont. He's a photographer, sitting in a wheelchair because his leg was broken, and we have this clash, if not a somewhat of a conflict in love, between the man who is always on the road and he has to live in rough conditions, and Grace, Lisa Carroll in the film, not yet the princess, but much like one in a few ways. And Jeff keeps saying, look, they are in love with each other, they are together, they are in a relationship, but there's a question of their future. And he says, look, what if I'm in Pakistan, how can you, with your high heels, and you know, if I have to go in the street, and my life, it's not for you. Well, stay here, you can do fashion, you can, and there's a question there if they will get over their differences. And to anticipate, indeed, she gets involved for him and his discovery. She gets into very difficult, very dangerous situations. So the woman loves him. Having to sit in the chair and observe, and as a photojournalist he sees very much, and in fact he's using the objective of the camera to see details across in the building, the apartment building in front of him. And at one point, for instance, he sees the big knives and the and other things, and so he observes what he thinks is a murder. He doesn't see the man actually committing it, but all the details of surrounding that they indicate to something dramatic, tragic. And indeed, the man is going with luggage in the rain at 3 in the morning, and then the woman is not there anymore, and she was bedridden, couldn't move, and all sorts of other details. With the objective of the camera, he can see the aforementioned knives, big knives, and then there's a big trunk and all sorts of details. And then he convinces his his nurse. There's a woman who helps him, massages him, talks to him, and all the woman very smart. And finally, Lisa Carroll, who goes into the apartment, finds evidence, and then it becomes an action, increasing in intensity, keeping the viewer on the edge of the chair. A wonderful, wonderful film.